All right, we've got the whole crew here today. I'm Gary.
And I'm Graham.
And I'm Cooper.
And I'm Erica.
And we're the Integrity Guys. Who loves spiders, mice, and other critters in their home and attic? Anybody?
You want the mice and the bugs out and to live their kind life out and to eat their food out.
As long as my feet are warm.
Felt so sick in her house and there wasn't anything visible. So that's when she called somebody and had the air test.
It doesn't sound like he had no problems, but that's what you have to look out for with mold. Even in a new home where you're moving everything in, there could be something lurking in the walls because it doesn't take that much water to start growing mold.
Welcome to our podcast. Graham's here as always. We've got the third Integrity Guy, Cooper, home from college. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm super happy to be back.
Everyone loved you when you were on before. And we've got a special guest today, everyone. Fresh off vacation from Faro, Portugal. It's the Integrity Mom, Erica.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
So the Integrity Gang is all here.
Graham, how you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How is everyone here?
Fantastic. All right, we usually do Would You Rather around here.
But today I was kind of thinking, if it's okay with you guys, that I could ask all three of you questions and see how the three different answers would be from different generations. Is
I
that
like
cool?
it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Let's do it.
I feel like every time we do this, both answers are just wrong. But yes, I'm ready.
You know, I don't really like where this is going, but I think I'm ready for it too.
All right, you guys. First one. Would you rather buy a house with a visible foundation crack or hidden mold behind the walls that you don't find until later on?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I'd probably stick with the cracked walls because not knowing that there's mold secret and cracked inside your house is a lot more expensive than if you just had to have cracks. And yes, cracks are dangerous. But having mold and mice and cleanup, all of this, it's going to be really hard to handle all that more than some cracked walls.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I too think I would take the foundation crack because at least we can see the crack in the wall, but hidden mold or in your home is dangerous to the air quality. Yeah, I'd definitely like to see the crack.
I agree, actually, myself. I think I would do that too.
Definitely.
Yeah, because mold is super scary. Can be anyway.
More scary than cracks anyways.
Well, the reality is that the crack in your foundation is visible, whereas the mold is not. And the mold can be everywhere, whereas the crack is isolated. This is a tough one. I really feel like foundation issues depend on the severity of the issue, but remediating mold inside the wall, that's a real bear. I think I'd rather have the foundation crack, guys.
Gary, what does it entail to have mold remediation inside the walls?
It's very major. See, the air has to all be controlled, and so we have to segregate all the work areas and create airflow so that when we remove any wall cladding, that all that gross air can be toxic is taken outside of the home. It's a lot of work cleaning and restoring a home once they have mold.
How do you test for that?
You can take samples of the air and see if the mold spores have gotten into the air yet, or if it's on the surface, we can take a sample of the actual surface with a piece of tape, called a tape test.
So the first sign of it is like on the exterior, and then you get tape or air testing?
Each situation's a little different. We always are looking for mold in the air, indoor mold, and if there happens to be visible mold that we can take a surface sample of, then that's helpful too. Air hygienists take the samples and get them to the lab. Then an independent lab tests them, and then an air hygienist interprets the report and explains what's got to be done next.
Gotcha.
Sounds pretty scary if you do have mold in your home.
Mold could lead to many problems indeed.
Guys, did you realize that the indoor air on average is 8 times more polluted than the outdoor air?
No
That's
way.
crazy.
It's true. And so most homes have stale air inside and don't realize it. And also, in the last 50 years, they've begun sealing the outside of homes significantly better, and that keeps that toxic air in better than it used to when there is a mold event.
Jeez.
But there's good news. The integrity guys are here to help. And so if you or anyone you know have issues with mold or suspect that you have issues, we'll come out and help you get the testing done.
Love that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So most of the time you'll see like signs of mold on the ceiling or the wall, and then they know to call in a professional. But I had a girlfriend once that was just felt so sick in her house and there wasn't anything visible. So that's when she called somebody and had the air test. And then it was really gnarly what they found. But that's what was making her sick. So I think, I don't know, it was a lesson to me to pay attention.
Absolutely. Yeah. We hear people that live in homes with mold. First off, the body is such an amazing that it adapts to mold in the home over time. But yes, people tell us that they feel much better when they're away from their home for a couple days.
So
It's unfortunate.
Sadly.
But we bring joy back to home ownership by helping people bring good air quality back to the indoors of their home.
And it fixes all that mold mess if it does occur to the home.
Yeah, we'll clean up all that nasty mold and kick it in the teeth and get it out of there.
Most definitely.
all right, you guys, the next question, and think about this. All right. Would you rather hire a great contractor that uses cheap materials or bad contractor that uses high-end materials?
I'd stick with the good contractor because a good contractor can use the bad materials better than a bad contractor can with good materials. The good contractor can always think it through and make the changes like a good contractor would. And a good contractor does a lot more help and regain and heal to the walls or mold or whatever stopping the house from being a perfect home. A good person to do the right job is the best part than using tools that people aren't as good and not using
So
the tools
skills.
as good. Yeah.
How do you know that, by the way?
Well, because
You're 8 years old. How do you really know that?
I know that I just learned that having the right people to do the right things makes more sense than doing things that they don't know how to do.
Solid lesson in life.
Yeah,
right?
trying new things, but using what you're better at.
Love it.
Listen, we got to start asking me these questions first because I'm not copying off of him. But me too. I think I would take the good contractor with cheaper materials over a bad contractor with expensive materials because a good contractor is going to care about your project. They're going to care about how long the project takes, how well the materials are installed, where a bad contractor could have a deal with a supply house and they just put glue up when you need nails.
Well, that's a good point. So they may have in on like the good materials, but they don't know how to install them, good or bad.
So I think overall, if someone's considered a good contractor, they're known to care about people's projects, the turnaround time of them in their home so that they can, whatever project you're doing, enjoy your home again.
See, I understand why you know this, the answer to this question.
Well, Graham's going to have my job here pretty soon, it sounds like.
Yeah. Just I gotta wait a few more years, maybe a decade or two. Who knows?
We'll have to start doing ride-alongs.
Cooper started at 11, right?
Oh, yeah,
Started at
hanging
11.
drywall. I've got
Yeah.
evidence of it, doing all sorts of good work.
Oh, yeah.
We had a lot of fun back then.
I can't really say I've ever really enjoyed hanging drywall, but there are proven pictures of me doing it at 11. So
I think
better
we
than
had some
cleaning up
really
mold.
good times.
listening to music and getting work done is always fun, but drywall is just so messy that even when you try to keep it clean, it just covers everything, and that drives me crazy.
It's better than having to clean all the cracks or mold that could occur and make your house not a good house as it is probably now.
Stuck on that mold.
Yeah,
Yes.
stuck on that mold. Well, just don't let that drywall get wet before you put it up, so that
Good point.
there's no moistness or dampness on the drywall behind the wall.
So a good contractor would know that and know how to install dry drywall.
I'd hope so.
Most definitely.
Brilliant.
It's a lot of work, but
It's our jam!
It's our jam!
Oh yeah.
You guys, this is so fun. Well, I suppose I get to speak up too of my perspectives on this
Yes,
topic.
Gary, I know that you probably have an input on this. Good contractor, cheap or bad?
I love good contractors. A good contractor prepares and plans, he organizes and strategizes, and he makes everything happen. He's the secret sauce. Give him average materials, and he'll create a beautiful finish.
I see.
On the other hand, there are certain people that just don't have any business working in construction. And so those people, regardless of what material you give them, they'll find out a way to mess it up now, won't they? I saw drywall hung backwards once by a DIY contractor, you guys.
With the tape sticking on the outside. And
Oh my gosh, imagine that.
And you're supposed to use screws when you put drywall on a ceiling? Would you believe they just use nails?
I
That'd be
mean,
crazy.
if I was a DIY person, I would not know which side of the drywall to hang and expose. And I totally would use nails because that's what I'm comfortable with. So I'm like the bad contractor.
Building suppliers
DIYing it.
have been thinking about contractors for so long. Now there's actually written on the top of the drywall. It
Oh,
says
good.
this side up.
And I definitely would probably watch a YouTube video first.
listen, YouTube University is a real thing.
Oh yeah.
I may or may not have been on YouTube today looking at installation.
Love it, love it. So there was a Reddit story that I know you
Yeah,
want to
this
discuss
one's
today.
interesting. The homeowner wanted hardwood floors but couldn't afford it. So, what did he do? Instead of replacing them, he actually used plywood, drew a wood grain on the plywood using
wow.
a Sharpie. We're talking the knots, texture, everything. And from a distance, it actually looks like real planks.
No way. So he for real used Sharpie on his floor, and it's over plywood.
Wait,
Isn't that wild and crazy that he...
like actually drew it and it looked real? That's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds bananas. This is a true story, Gare.
If Reddit said it, it must be true.
Reddit said it. Cooper, would you ever do that?
Well, honestly, if he said that it looks good from a distance, no, I probably wouldn't. I would still go with some LVP and make that room look finished. But I love the creativity, and you know what? You can do it with your home what you want to. So
That's true.
That
but
is the
can we
beauty
try
of
not to do that
homeownership.
at our house? I know you would never do that, Gary. You never allow me, but
Oh, we're going to have an art party. Everyone gets different colored Sharpies to
Wood
make
play
our floor.
party.
could we just put tile in somewhere and then use like dry erase markers so then
I love
it's
that
not
idea.
permanent?
Will you install the tiles?
Install the tile.
That's very time intensive.
Crickets.
So
I'll draw
that's the
tiles.
difference between DIY and a professional contractor. Professional contractors flush through the thousands of options for flooring and help homeowners pick good quality selections that are going to be durable, last a long time, and fit the finishes of your home.
So if somebody doesn't know the cost of hardwood floors and they're trying to pinch their pennies, but they like the idea of, I guess, tile or different flooring options, would they just call you and then price that out?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. What we do for our customers every day is help them work through all the options to find what's best fit for their home and budget. Now, we're not like those niche flooring contractors that you hear about on TV. We actually have a solution for every home and budget, and that does not include hand Sharpie application of wood grain on plywood. But I actually am thinking about Alicia in Lake Orion. I hope she's listening. She's got a beautiful house on Lake Orion, and we've been invited to replace her floors. We talked a lot about the look of the floor, the species, what direction it'll go in, and this is a great project. We picked a species of wood that is available in a wider plank, which looks very attractive, and it's an engineered style hardwood, which means that it's not quite as thick, but it's available in several different styles and at a price point that kicks the normal hardwood floor price in the teeth.
Awesome. It's more affordable.
So,
Why would someone care about the thickness of flooring?
well, that's a great question, Coop. So years past, when you put hardwood in, you might refinish it every 5 or 10 years. You have to reapply it, reseal it, resand it, change the color. Now with engineered hardwood, the reality is that a pre-finished engineered plank can last several decades without needing refinishing, and sometimes the wear layer on the floor can be thinner, allowing you to get a better value on a more attractive plank.
But it looks real. And
It's
it
real.
feels real and all that.
Yeah, the actual wear layer on the top is actually wood.
Okay.
It's stained and sealed.
Wow.
Only it's done professionally beforehand, not done in place the old-fashioned way.
That sounds really cool and inventive. So, and it's similar in cost to typical hardwood?
Actually saves money going with an engineered plank that looks wider and more attractive.
Wow.
Then the standard hardwood flooring most popular was oak, and it was 3 1/4 inch wide, or it was 2 1/4 inch wide. Those were the options. And now it can have like a hickory or a poplar surface, maple to match your cabinets, all very high end hardwoods that would be extremely hard to find locally. And without boring you, the wider the plank, the more potential traditional hardwood has of curling, which is a big problem. These engineered planks are actually designed to prevent that.
Wow.
So you get a more attractive floor and save some money.
Listen, I want a new floor already.
Well, I was just going to ask you guys if you had to pick your favorite flooring. No price in mind. So no restriction at all. Graham, you go first. What do you want?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I'd have to think, but if I had to choose, like, right now, I'd probably say, like, the most texturized or most, like, nice looking.
Do you like the look of wood, or do you like the look of the living room at the old house?
I think the look of the wood is more texturized in a way that is different from like tile, but tile also has the prettier aspect of prettiness. So that's a hard question.
Looks really
I'd
clean.
probably go with like it really depends. If you have kids, I'd choose the wood. So if they fell, then they wouldn't get as hurt, and it's a lot cheaper for the kids. Because kids sometimes cost a little bit more money, and also like the tile maybe for like grown-ups because like the tile like they don't slip as much, and like tile can be texturized if like people are coming over for parties.
Wow.
Graham, I just thought of something. This is not actually that funny, but you guys might think it is. Do you remember when you gave me a wet willy and I chased you into the kitchen and I slipped
Yes.
on the hardwood and I fell so hard?
Yes, and I fell in the same spot like I don't know, like 5 minutes ago. Seriously.
All right, Coop, what's your answer?
Well, you said floors and no budget.
No
this-
budget.
This was easy for me. I'm going heated tile.
Ooh,
I want my feet to always be warm.
that sounds nice.
And throughout the entire house, it could be bright orange as long as my feet are warm. The floor is lava. Well, that's what I'd call it.
All right, fire chief.
Lava floor.
That just reminded me when I was little and I was playing the floors of the game of the floors lava. I got really hurt. When there was this table in front of me and I was jumping, I wasn't that smart, and I jumped to the table trying to, and I didn't make it. I was an inch away, like not even an inch, like a centimeter, and then it was on the corner, and then I chewed my eye and like over it. That really hurt. And that's probably one of the worst days of my life.
That ride to the emergency room that night.
Wasn't
and
the-
those stitches.
Wasn't the funnest. 5 stitches to be exact.
All right, last but not least, Gare. Same heated floors, heated tiles.
Well, you guys, you know I work for some really high-end clients, and I'm thinking of Dr. Kim in Farmington. She actually allowed me to make the floors in her home with all stone countertop slabs, you guys. Just imagine 4 foot by 10 foot long pieces of marble, all set in place with a machine.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I think I'll take that one if we're
So
set.
nice.
If Graham's paying for it. Stunning. So there's this great article, click2houston.com, which talks about a newly built Texas home that was infiltrated with black mold. Keith Lee is a big-time viral food creator.
Keith Lee, the food review. Yeah. Have you seen him?
I've seen Keith Lee online who does the food reviews.
Graham, you don't really watch that, so you haven't.
Yeah, not yet.
Well-
You love food reviews.
Yes, I do love food. And food reviews.
Well, this one went viral because it happened in a brand new home. Most of the time when you think about mold and bad air quality, you don't think of a brand new home, right? Well, a well-known food creator, Keith Lee, moved into what he thought was a fully inspected brand new home in Texas. Everything looked fine. First, multiple inspections, clean reports, no red flags. But after moving in, his family started feeling sick.
Yeah, that's exactly what would freak me out.
No one likes
you
being sick.
Well, for sure, but then you also assume that if it's a brand new house, and I don't know, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're famous or not, but I mean, he probably didn't hire the cheapest guy or gal to do the job. And then all of a sudden they find out that there was mold in the walls. It's awful.
And then they get sick because of all that mold or all that stuff that could block the way or make a family sick. No one wants mold. No one wants to be sick or have like bad feelings, catch a cold. No one wants that. You want a clean, safe house to live in. Most definitely.
I agree with you, Graham. And you know what? I also agree with you too, Mom, where people buy something new, they expect no problems. And unfortunately for Keith Lee, it doesn't sound like he had no problems. But that's what you have to look out for with mold. Even in a new home where you're moving everything in, there could be something lurking in the walls because it doesn't take that much water to start growing mold. You have to be weary. Look
Terrifying.
out for it.
Super terrifying.
The professionals that we follow have educated us that it only takes 1 to 2 days for a water-impacted space in an indoor home to start growing mold. Usually, if mold sets in and you get ahead of it, it's really manageable. But over time, that mold continues to grow, and it becomes more fierce. And eventually, though, it releases spores into the air. And we just had a wonderful client in Southfield who chose us to do some work on their home, and there's mold just a few feet away from the vent on their furnace that takes air in and circulates it through the home.
Wow.
That could make the air like bad and make the environmental breathing system bad because everyone wants clean air again. And
That's
keep
really
the air, be able to smell it, and you want to breathe the good air, not breathe smells of mold and mice poop and all the things that could damage your
You're
house.
right.
You're so smart, kid.
It's totally
Thanks.
true. So this particular house would have just had a little bit of cleaning to be done in a corner of their basement where they had a pipe that leaked once or twice before it was repaired. But unfortunately, they didn't realize what was going on down there, and years went by. And so over the course of the last couple of years, that mold grew and got worse and spread. And then when it got into the furnace, we suspect that the furnace circulated it through all the rooms of the house. So at that point, it becomes a lot more work, but we're not going to give up. You don't have to move out forever. There is a solution. We can clean and sanitize everything, remove any water-impacted material, and with the help of a mold lab, we'll be able to restore that air.
Do people typically need to leave their house while this is being done?
Yeah, most of the time when mold is in the air, it's circulated through a lot of the home, and it would be very challenging and restrictive for you to live in your home without access to the kitchen, the basement, and perhaps the front and back doors. And while you're doing mold remediation, you have to have zero airflow in between the partitions where work's being done. So we have zipper doors and machines drawing air in and sucking it out and creating negative air pressure.
Yes, I've seen that before.
So it's a lot of work, and to be honest, the chemicals are kind of stinky because they're designed to kill mold. Peroxide-based cleaning agents are used. So we're going to take some time, go on a little family trip, visit your favorite aunt in Texas, and then when you come back, your home's all cleaned again.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
I know we've been talking about how scary mold is, but what are things that people should look for to get ahead of having mold, or when they are doing projects to take preventative measures from getting mold?
That is the best question, Cooper. I knew there was a reason why we brought you here today.
Always.
Always.
So the least bit of water impaction can create a problem. If you ever overflow a toilet or a sink, if ever a pipe fails, like what happened at Nana's house, just one water event can let gallons of water in. So that water's got to get removed immediately. A lot of homes have a roof leak, but the family doesn't notice the leak until there's actually damage on the ceiling. And sometimes that roof could have been leaking for years, even since it was built. And there's so many layers of insulation and drywall, and you have overhangs and underlayment. And so the water gets through some of the layers, but not through all of them. And that's why we invest a lot of time and effort to do thorough inspections. We climb through all the most gross attics and crawl spaces in town to help find things that are concerning so that we can share truthful information with our customers.
And clear all those bugs and spiders and webs and make it clean so then the clean air can flow through your house and you can breathe properly.
I think spiders need air too, bro. Spiders are going to be there. I've been in over 10 attics this week, and
I was just gonna say, I think we have had our fair share of gross attics.
yeah, the spiders are always there. Thankfully, not every roof or not every home has mold damage, but it's always a good idea to have someone check it out when you
Right.
are getting work done.
And think ahead.
There were countless houses, I remember, a lot of the older ones, that when I was doing a roof attic inspection for a roof, and then we would find mold on the deck boards, and it was visible, and the homeowner had no idea. And of course, you can't just do a roof repair; you have to do a replacement, and then the affected boards you have to take out. So it was always a bummer when the homeowner got that news. It was really difficult to break that to them, but of course, it was a necessary evil. They needed to get that out of their house.
Question for you guys, show of hands.
And they were always grateful.
Who loves spiders, mice, and other critters in their home and attic? Anybody? When you have the least bit of moisture impaction in your attic or in your basement, this is what the animals feed from. And so there is a direct connection between insects and bugs and critters and the presence of unwanted moisture. So we want it to be nice and dry inside so that those critters go hang out at the neighbor's house.
Not in the neighbor's house. No one wants to be in there. You want the mice and the bugs out and to live their kind life out and to eat their food out.
How about
Outside.
how about just that one neighbor?
Yeah.
That one neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which neighbor?
We
That
all know
one.
which neighbor.
That
The
one.
neighbor to
That
the
one.
right, the neighbor to the left, the neighbor in the middle, or the neighbor
No,
across
they're
the
all
street.
great. No, they're
Our neighbors
great.
now are amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're
they're
truly
great.
blessed.
Maybe
That's
not
true.
that one.
On the next episode, we'll talk about neighbors.
Yeah.
Neighbors.
I love it.
So, in general, in order to protect your home, the average American's biggest investment, your home, we think that you should have your home inspected regularly. Now, MI Remodelers exists to help people, and some stuff we do free of charge. For example, we inspect attics and crawl spaces and help educate homeowners, and that's something we don't even charge $1 for.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good service. Everyone should take us up on that.
Honestly,
True.
I have a lot of fun with it.
Graham, did you know that MI Remodelers, at every single appointment we run, we offer a free attic inspection? Did you know that?
That's crazy.
And on the phone, we say, before your appointment, if you'd like a free attic inspection, we'd be happy to go up. Then we take pictures and inspect it, not just for mold, but for insulation, and also to see if your roof has proper ventilation. All that good stuff we talk about all the time. Yeah, but it's free.
So, Graham, I have one more thing to mention, and then will you sign us off and tell all the listeners how to find us?
Oh, yeah?
So, homeowners start removing their kitchen backsplash thinking it's just one layer of tile. But once they pull it off, they realize there's actually a completely different tile design underneath it. What would you do?
Well, I mean, yes, I want it thick, and yes, I want it secure. So, like, if a tornado came, yes, it would probably break, but it would do less damage to it. And yes, getting the mold out and keeping it out, it would be having reinforced walls, yes. But that's actually a hard question. I mean, I think
I'm going to turn this one over to your big brother.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
Well, honestly, I've seen a lot of these videos online throughout social media where people want to tear up their first layer of wood flooring or whatnot, and then they find tile underneath. And sometimes it looks amazing, and sometimes you really wish it was just plywood under there. So I think it would be personal preference, but if it looks good, then I wouldn't be mad to clean it up, I think.
Once we remove a layer of tile, behind it is typically not pristine and beautiful tile.
No.
Typically, there was something that wasn't that desirable about it, which caused someone to try and conceal it. The biggest mistake that I witness every single week, this week included, is that homeowners and contractors try to cut corners to save money. And the reality is, if you remove both layers of tile, you're required to resolve anything that you discover inside that wall. That could be mold, mildew, asbestos, lead, animal feces, and so on.
Oh, yeah, because before they had the paint that everyone uses today, they used lead-based coloring, right?
Lead-based paint, yes, you are right.
So you're saying that if a contractor that just wants to hurry the job will go in and not demo what they're supposed to demo because they don't want to fix what they find.
That's completely
That's
correct.
bananas.
It is.
That's insane.
The
That's
majority.
like, it should be illegal to do that.
Well,
Do they have
maybe.
licenses? People who have licenses do this?
Some do.
Really?
There's actually I can't believe I'm saying this, but there are a ton of kitchen and bathroom companies that make record profits installing systems that are designed to not have a removal scope.
That's sad.
They intentionally conceal what's unknown because they don't want to bring to the surface what could be. So, for that reason and many, we think that you should certainly give MI Remodelers a call to talk about your next project. Hey, Graham, how can the listeners reach us?
Thanks for listening, guys. We had a blast. Remember, if you need any assistance with your home, call 888-544-7366. And don't forget to tell them Ram sent ya!